Hello everybody and welcome back. As always, I am Mateo311 and this is your channel for everything VR related. Today's episode of the weekly VR news is absolutely stacked with new hardware thanks to CES 2023. If you're looking for something to replace your Valve Index, there's plenty of new options on the way, and the specs on some of these headsets are just absolutely insane. It also looks like the PlayStation VR 2 is setting the new benchmark for VR games, and of course we'll be going over any newly announced accessories and VR games. Now there are of course the links and timestamps to everything I'll be discussing, but before we jump in, this video is brought to you by my sponsor, Kiwi Design. They carry accessories for all of your VR needs, from Quest to Elite straps, battery packs, upgradable controller straps, replacement facial inserts, cable management systems, and I'm very happy to announce their brand new all-in-one RGB stand. Your headset and controllers magnetically connect. There's plenty of options for the RGB lighting, and an indicator that lets you know when your headset and controllers are fully charged. There's a link to Kiwi down in the description if you want to check out their products, and don't forget to use discount code Mateo311 for 5% off and to help support this channel. Okay, so let's start this video off with some surprise game announcements. The racing simulation title Gran Turismo 7 that was released back in March of 2022 is getting a VR mode for the PlayStation VR 2. This will be available when the headset releases on February 22nd, and it's a free upgrade for anyone who already owns the game. Now this is great news for VR fans who love stunning visuals or those looking for an authentic simulation experience. There's a good reason why the Gran Turismo series has been around for over 25 years, and it's absolutely fantastic to see the PlayStation VR 2 getting yet another high-quality release title. And speaking of high-quality games coming to the PlayStation 2, Meta has confirmed that they're actually bringing Beat Saber to this platform. This is a semi-surprising turn of events, as Meta owns the game studio Beat Games, and it's one of their best cash cows. But the game was already on multiple different platforms before Meta acquired the studio, and since the PlayStation VR 2 isn't a direct competitor to the Quest, this definitely makes sense, and it's also why we won't see the game on the Pico 4. Now Beat Saber has become a staple VR title, and I really wish everyone had access to it, but for now I'm just happy it's coming to the PlayStation VR 2. Now there's no word just yet on when exactly it will be available, and if PlayStation VR 1 owners will have to purchase the game again, or it will be a free upgrade. And finally, in other surprising news, the racing title Grid Legends has been announced for the Meta Quest 2, and it's releasing this week. Now this is a ported version of the game that released back in February of 2022, and you can currently pre-order it at a discounted price of $26.99. Now this is great news because the Quest 2 is severely lacking in racing titles, plus as a port from a flat screen title, we're getting a lot more game than we usually get from a VR title. If you're looking for more than just racing, there's a documentary style story campaign full of cutscenes for you to enjoy. Now there's also both co-op and competitive multiplayer modes available, but it's unknown if there'll be cross-play support with the flat screen version. Okay guys, that was this week's short list of game announcements, but that's okay because we have a lot of hardware to talk about. But first, Pico has revived Wave, an application for virtual concerts. Now back in 2021, Wave actually gave up VR support and focused on traditional streaming of live concerts. Now a new partnership with Pico is bringing this back for both the Pico Neo 3 and the Pico 4 headsets. There's already a Calvin Harris experience scheduled for January 13th, which is over an hour in length, features a virtual avatar of Calvin Harris that will be performing live, and you'll be able to interact with both the show and other guests. Now if you can't make it to the live event, it'll be re-airing between January 14th to the 26th. Personally, I'm not sure how I feel about virtual events, as there's just so many aspects to a live concert that can't be recreated. Feeling the bass of the music just ride through your body, the flash from stage lights or pyrotechnics, and just the overall vibe that a crowd gives off. But who knows, maybe one day we'll actually get there. Now our final story before we get into the new hardware is Razer entering into the Quest 2 accessory arena. Now if you're not familiar with Razer, they're known for making flashy PC accessories that tend to be on the expensive side. Now their new Quest 2 products include an adjustable head strap system and a replacement facial insert. The head strap was designed with all head shapes in mind, utilizes high performance nylon material, and was made to optimize weight distribution. Now this does appear different than your typical Halo or Elite strap, so I'm really curious to see how it performs. Now their facial insert is designed to remove pressure and also help prevent skin irritation. Now both of these issues are quite common with the default Quest 2 setup, so again I'm curious to see how this product performs, but with comfort being so subjective, I think it's hard to find a product that's right for everyone. And that's one more reason why there's so many new VR headsets coming out. But as we go through all of these new hardware announcements, I'd love to hear from you guys down in the comments. Just sound off on which headset you're most excited about and where you do or don't agree with me. And let's start things off with the HTC Vive XR Elite. Now, it was previously rumored that this would be a Quest Pro competitor, priced at $1,400, and that information came from an international listing with the price adjusted for US dollars. Now, I'm happy to report that it's not $1,400 and only a mere $1,100, and while hands-on first impressions from CES sound very positive, I'm just not 100% sold on this headset. For starters, it has the same internal hardware as the Quest 2, namely the XR2 chipset, so we know there's not a ton of power under the hood. Now, there are some aspects that make it more appealing than the Quest Pro, namely a $400 cheaper price tag, a supposedly superior pass-through experience that utilizes depth sensors, and finally there's a glasses mode that allows you to remove the battery backstrap and utilize this headset like a Vive Flow, attaching it to your cell phone. It's a really cool design, but the elephant in the room is still software. Meta is a much larger and more profitable company with a background in software engineering, and even they don't have applications that take advantage of the AR hardware. Additionally, standalone games are going to be lacking behind the Quest, just like the Pico 4 is. And finally, there's no facial or eye tracking if that's something you're interested in. So even if the hardware is superior to the Quest Pro, it just might not be the right option. Now, if you're looking for the absolute best PSVR experience, there's a lot to be excited for. A wireless version of the ultra-wide FOV headset, the Xtal, has been announced, and the hardware specs are way beyond anything we typically see. It's a 180-degree horizontal field of view with a 4K per eye resolution. The new wireless model comes with an adapter that plugs into both your DisplayPort and a USB, and it transmits a Wi-Fi 6E signal to a belt-worn module that connects to the headset. Now, if you're wondering why they utilized a belt-worn module, well, the headset is already quite large and very heavy. Now, don't get too excited though and expect to start using this headset anytime soon, because it's mainly used by enterprise and for military applications, with a starting price tag of $9,000 for the wired version. So while it's great to see just how far VR technology can be pushed and to get some great advancements in wireless technology, but this product is just a pipe dream for most consumers. So let's come back down a little bit closer to reality with the MeganeX. That's only $1,700. Now, while that price tag is still pretty insane, you're getting an ultra lightweight and extremely compact, highly spec'd VR headset. Appearing like a pair of steampunk glasses, you're getting 2560 by 2560 per eye resolution, micro OLED panels, and those fancy new pancake lenses. Now, there's also an XR1 chipset inside, so this headset is capable of inside-out tracking, but it's also compatible with Steam lighthouses. Now, everything you'd expect is also included, like built-in headphones, a dual microphone setup, and the refresh rate even goes up to 120 Hz. There's no official values for the FOV just yet, but users have claimed it's at least as good as the Quest 2. Now, I don't believe this is a straight Valve Index killer just yet, but it's an excellent step in the right direction, and it gives me a lot of hope for future VR headsets. But if you want to pick up this device, it's going on sale between March and April of this year. If you're not looking to make any hardware concessions and you don't mind a bulkier package, the Somnium VR1 is a dream for VR enthusiasts. 2880 by 2880 per eye resolution with a 120-degree field of view, dual high-quality pass-through RGB cameras, ultra-leap hand tracking, custom-made eye tracking, Wi-Fi 6E, built-in wireless PCVR streaming, native wired PC support for a lossless signal, plus the normal stuff we've come to expect at this point, like headphones and built-in microphones. Now, they are planning a standalone headset for the future, but this one is PCVR only. Depending on its overall performance, this might be the headset I finally use to replace the Valve Index, but that also depends on how much it'll cost, and we won't get that information until later this year. Now, while I'm happy to get all the extra bells and whistles, do we really need a pass-through mode on a PCVR headset? And our final piece of new hardware wasn't shown off at CES, but it looks like we got new leaks and rumors for Apple VR. If all of this turns out to be true, I understand why the headset would be priced at $3,000, and this would be an absolutely insane combination of new tech. For starters, we would have 4K per eye micro OLED displays with a 120-degree field of view, two main processors with one dedicated entirely to a low latency streaming codec, wrist-mounted hot swappable batteries that have a magnetically connecting cable to the headset, AirPod and AirPod Pro support, magnetically connecting prescription lens inserts for eyeglass wearers, motorized IPD adjustment, multiple cameras that would provide eye, facial, and body tracking, LiDAR sensors for room mapping, and you would be able to run any existing iOS apps in a 2D mode. And there's also a rumor that there's an always-on front display, so people you interact with can see both your eyes and facial interactions right through the headset itself. Now, all of this sounds absolutely crazy, but I still don't know what I would use the headset for. I really want to see what they deliver in terms of applications. Mac is definitely not known for high-end gaming, and the rumors still state that there won't be controllers as they're focusing on hand tracking and voice recognition. Now, overall, Apple's VR headset will probably be a huge deal for the VR industry, but I'm still not sure what to expect with this one. But the last thing we have to discuss isn't directly hardware related. For quite some time now, we already knew what hardware the PlayStation VR 2 is going to deliver, but thanks to CES, a lot more gamers got to demo it, and the overall response has been absolutely fantastic. And just like I expected and have been stating for quite some time, Sony's going to set a new bar for VR gaming quality. But will it be enough to get PlayStation 5 owners to go pick up a headset, or to get Quest gamers to switch over? So let me know what you guys think down in the comments. Now that was today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. If you're new here, please consider subscribing. And as always, I'll see you guys on next time.